Hello, Janelle.
Yes.
Hi, Janelle.
Hi, how are you?
It's wonderful. We have Janelle Jackson here from, she's going to talk about her success, uh, Silver Shield Security, and I'll let Alka go ahead and lead the session.
Thank you, Janelle. And can you hear me okay?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, good. So I'm sure that you checked us out because you took some time before you came over to our show, but that proves what you are doing. You are in some securities business, right?
Correct.
So you want to
Correct.
make
Yeah,
sure you're
yeah.
dealing with the
And
right
you just
people.
wanted to make sure, what I was doing and
Right,
I stay in the right direction.
right. That proves the point, the kind of business you are doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let me introduce briefly is that organization called Global Women Power, and it's a non-profit, and we have been working in it from 2015. Our whole concern is to push financial freedom for women and be let them be on their own, either by training them, skills training, or putting them in the network, or helping them find jobs. So we have finished helping about 2,000 plus women by now in smaller,
That's
big ways.
wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. And so recently we started this series called Sheroes, and we thought that we should connect up with women, those who are living example of what we are trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it had been a very good learning experience, and we are very happy that we picked you as well.
Well, thank you.
And, yeah. So please go ahead. The way we run it, like we start from your story, how you started, how you reached up to here, and what went along.
Okay, well, thank you guys. As you know, I'm Janelle Jackson. I am here in the Carolinas. I'm the first African American woman to be a security owner for Intrusion, like the big companies ADT here, which is a global company, CPI, which is very big here in the Carolinas. Well, amongst a lot of other companies that we have here, but I'm the first one to do it here. I come from a company called Windstream that I retired from of working there of 18 years. And, working there 18 years, I realized that I was only going to get what they gave me. And I wanted to do something, bigger. I wanted to leave a legacy, so to speak. In the corporate world, there's nothing about leaving your family and your hard work a legacy that you're working for someone. And I wanted to be when my life was over here, that my DNA could still continue to do the things that we were doing. So in 2011, my kid's father passed away. And when he passed away, little did I know, we have been divorced now 13 years. And little did I know that he left the business to me. And didn't plan on doing the business, but my kid's father, I went down there to Atlanta, and I wanted to help my daughter, how you get things in order, help her with the houses and all the properties. And when I was going there, I was like, wow, I can take this business to Charlotte, North Carolina. And what I did was I signed everything over to my daughter and let her run the business in Atlanta. And I bought it here. My goodness, when I bought it here, it was hard. Really hard because, first of all, it's not an industry that was for women, let alone a color woman. It just wasn't an industry for us. So, learning all the ropes itself. So while I was learning the ropes and getting the certificates and getting the background checks and getting all those things kind of done, I was still working. So can you imagine? I am a sales rep at Windstream, top rep in the whole company of a Fortune 500 company, and I was balancing both. And I just got to the point where I said, if I can make this much money for them, what can I do for my legacy? What can I do to help other people? So when I got into this business, my biggest strategy or my biggest thing that I had to overcome was, how do I squeeze in to a company just in the Carolinas, guys, is a $7 billion company that they turned down just in people that don't want to do a credit check, just for people that got bad credit. That 7 billion, just along with that. And I had to figure out, how do I fit in? Where do I get in this business at? And what I realized is that I started looking at the requirements that all the other companies have: credit checks, contracts, you can't live in an apartment, you got to be a homeowner, all those kind of things like that. And I realized none of those things had anything to do with being safe, though. If you wanted to make sure that people were safe and how to do it, then that was going to be how I got in. I wanted to do no credit check, no contract. And at the same time, with doing those things, I still had to make sure I was matching what the big companies did, with no credit check and no contract and free equipment. So what I did was I invested in myself. I took every penny. And when I say every single penny, every penny that I had, and I invested it into this business to match giving away free equipment. You know, you have to look at these ADT and Brinks and all these big companies. They're Fortune 500 companies. So it was easy for them to give away equipment, but you sign a 5-year agreement. I felt like if I gave customers what they wanted, then I didn't have to put them in a contract. Because if you want security, you want security. And I wanted everybody to be secure, not just people that was homeowners, because those are the people that were used to security. When you have a person like myself that was raised and brought up in the projects, we didn't know about security systems. We didn't know none of those things. Now you got people here all over that's learning that we all should be equal to having the same thing based on the same requirements. Anytime you hear the word, let me see if you qualify, that's telling you that they're looking to push people out. And what I wanted to do was not allow anyone to be pushed out of being secure. If someone breaks into your home, it doesn't matter if you're living in a box, you have the right to be safe. So that's how the legacy in my mind that I thought I would put in to start this business. And it was going rather slow. And when I tell you, it was going slow because no one heard of Silver Shield Security. No one knew who Silver Shield Security was. You know, so you got people that was thinking they wouldn't be safe, or they wouldn't have the same security or the same coverage and things like that. Well, I just kept going. And lo and behold, last year, actually, June of last year, we had a company here called CPI had a few issues with their customers, and they felt like he said a few things that he shouldn't have said. And people just started looking for a Black company. They started looking honestly for a Black company. And I'm glad, with that being said, I always did everything right. So I kept my website. I kept a call center. I kept people employed. Even when I couldn't afford it, I just did it. I found a way to get the money to keep those things. So when the business started to come in like it is now, I was ready. It wasn't any backpedaling I had to do. I didn't have to run around and go, oh my God, who's going to answer calls? Who's going to do the technician? I always stayed ready because I knew this day would come.
So, you know, business by itself is a risk-taking venture.
Yes.
That's why people find jobs and they want to have a secure living. And after listening to you, I just want to know, because you took some extra risks.
I did.
In business, right?
I did. I took a lot of extra risks, but
yeah.
I believed in myself. At the end of the day, the best thing that I had going, the one thing I knew that wouldn't fail me, the one thing I knew that I could depend on, the one thing I knew no matter what happened, what the person would do, I couldn't guarantee what anybody else would do, but I can guarantee what I would do. And I just gambled on myself. And when I did that, now, and believe it or not, this is the first year. I've been in business here since 2012, June 2012. This is the first, well, actually last year, and now we're in this year, where I'm just starting to see the hard work of my labor. I'm just starting to see it. But it was about sticking with it, not giving up. Don't let people tell you you can't do it. Don't let people tell you you don't fit in. You know, continue to do it. I don't care what it is. If you believe in yourself, if it's just picking buttons, if it's picking cans, if it's picking leaves, whatever it is, don't matter how small. If you believe that you can do it, you can do it. If you have a dream and a vision, that's all you need. That's all you need. And you gamble on the best thing that you have going, and that's yourself.
So we are meeting this Janelle Jackson today. When did you meet her? How did this Janelle Jackson came up to here? You know, all these values, from where did you get all this, and resilience and whatever you're saying now? Because you're saying with conviction, I can tell. But
Yeah,
it doesn't come overnight.
it doesn't come overnight. And I agree. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit your childhood, your family, your influences on you.
Well, my family, we grew up, my mother is from this small town called Noonan, Georgia. And she had me when she was very young, at the age of 14 years old. She winds up moving and going to New York. So that's where I was born and raised, in the Bronx of New York City. And so I didn't know what really hard times were. I didn't know. All you always know is what's in front of you. So if what's in front of you is what you're accustomed to, then it's not a struggle. When it becomes a struggle, when you feel it's hard, is when you step outside of your box and you realize that there's something else out there other than what you see. See, that's when we get a conscience. That's when we become, because when we're kids, everything is good to us. It's no bad. Our conscience kicks in when we start to see that someone else have something that we don't have. And for me, this may really be silly, but for me, when I recognized that people had things that I didn't have, was, I don't know if you guys remember the sitcom called The Brady Bunch. Do you guys remember that?
The Brady Bunch, yeah.
Yes, the Brady Bunch, exactly. So I saw them in a home with steps and a big kitchen and a yard and things like that. And to me, ever since I was as young as I can remember, I believed that I can have those things and wanted them and was going to do it. And I didn't know where it was going to come from, but I knew I was going to do it. And just as you get older and you believe in yourself, and then what you do is you take the things that people say are great about you and you develop it off, because you don't know nothing about yourself until you start experiencing things. So what you do is you just take, like, you gotta kind of act like a sponge, and you have to soak in all the information that you hear throughout this world. You have to hear it and you have to listen to it, but yet at the same time, you have to make it your own. You have to decide what's good. You have to decide what's bad. You have to decide, is that good for you if it's not good for you. And don't get me wrong, I've made a lot of mistakes and I've bumped into a lot of walls. What I'm grateful for, though, I never crashed. And the reason why I never crashed is because at the end of the day, my heart, since I was a child, has always been to do people right. And as long as you hold on to the basic morals of doing right, no matter what you touch into doing, it would be great. My mother, she is the best cook in the world. My mother used to teach us how to take food out of nothing and make it something. Even with that, it taught me that you didn't have to have what the other person had. You just had to make it your own. And that's what I learned to do, is make it my own.
Hey, can you share some of her recipes on our Facebook page?
I will have to get that from her, because we have been trying to start her up a cookbook, because she has some great recipes.
Oh, we can help her with that. But anyway, I wanted to ask you, the Silver Shield, do you also accommodate huge businesses, or is it just homes and small businesses?
Thank you. Good question. We do residential, commercial. We do everyone. We have so many different promotions. If you get a chance to go on the website, we have senior citizen discounts, because senior citizens are on a fixed income. So when I made the pledge of making sure that everybody in the Carolinas was safe, I meant that. So senior citizens, we don't charge them installation fee. Senior citizens, we don't charge them the same rate that we charge everyone else, because while they're already on a fixed income, and I feel, me personally, because I have a great grandmother and I have great aunts, I feel like at that point of their life, when they become a senior citizen, they have done their part. So for me, with my company here, I just feel like senior citizens have done their part. And that's where I'm going to do what I feel like, I get to make these choices now. There are no guidelines that I have to abide by. I want this company to be ran with love. love, and from the heart. And doing that, senior citizens is one of my ways of showing that. I mean, and that's the way this company is going to be built. That's how the foundation started. That's what makes it solid. And that's what we're going to continue to do.
Well, I hope you branch out here in California.
Well,
I'd like to help you
do that
with that vision as well.
Yeah, we do that as well. We're also doing now, we're branching out in different cities and states. What we do with the systems that we use now is we program them at our home office. When we send them to you, all you have to do is plug it in and it's already set up for you. So yeah, we're doing that now. We're matching what a lot of other companies are doing as well.
Did you find the biggest challenge with competition in this business? Was it more an ethnic issue or a gender issue?
Both.
Or is it 50-50?
It was 50-50. It was 50-50. I would go to classes and I would be the only woman sitting in there, and they would ask, have the question, well, who are you representing? I'm representing Silver Shield. Well, who's the owner? Are they sending you to train? And I'll be, no, I'm the owner. They go, no, I'm not talking about like you're here to learn, the owner. And I know that's me. So yeah. Or you would get, are you the full owner? Are you a dealer? No, I'm not a dealer. I'm a straight owner. And I started just like every other company, like ADT and everyone started. And I have the same guidelines that they have, and I have to obey.
You know, if I saw two businesses, one huge, one small, and if the quality was at least compatible, I would choose the smaller business to deal with.
Well, that's one of the things here that why we're growing, because a lot of people here want our home place, because I kind of make people feel like family. When I deal with my customers, when my salespeople deal with the customers, we really want to hear what you need. We want to do things that'll help you keep the service, not just get you in with these big prices and then lock you in. If something comes up and you can't do it anymore, you know, half of these big companies become rich and millionaires off of your failure or off of you falling off. That's where they get most of it. For example, if you are in a contract, just because you can't pay something anymore does not mean you're not a good person. So what they do is they lock you into this deal that you probably can't pay, be it whatever reason. Anything happens. Look at the pandemic just happened here that we're going through. No one knew that was going to happen. So everyone that has gotten hurt in that who do you blame for that? You can't blame anyone, but you do need to have things in place. And what I call is no contract. If it comes the time you can't pay it anymore, then you know what? It's okay. I'm not going to charge you $2,000 for canceling. Well, how can you pay me the $2,000 for canceling when you didn't have the money to continue to pay the $37?
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, $37 isn't a lot of money, but don't have any money and see how much $37 mean to you.
I know those days.
Yes, yes. So yeah, thank you for that question.
I have a few more questions. One is that, you know, most of the women we meet with and we encourage them to do something, and then they think that they should have a degree, like at least an MBA in business management, and et cetera, et cetera. So I know why we are laughing on this, but can you share, you know, like, do you really need degrees to run a business, or what is it that keeps it going?
Well, this is what I will tell you. I won't go against anyone that has a degree. But what I will say, a degree does not stop you from doing anything that you want. I have a GED, and I worked in corporate America. And this is just a little short story that I was working for a company, Windstream, and they put out this new memo that everyone had to have in the division that I was in. I was a account representative, and from there I grew to an executive, and then I grew, and then it came out, well, you need to have master's degree to be an account executive. Well, Janelle didn't have that. All Janelle had was a GED. So when the CEO of our company realized that all I had was a GED, they changed the rules and said, you know what? Because I was matching my numbers. I was the biggest salesperson at the company. I'm talking about with everybody that got doctor's degree, master's degrees. They're coming to me asking, and Janelle, help me sell this. How do you set this up? How do you deal with your company? How do you deal with this? Why do people like you? How are you getting all these sales? It was not the fact that I went in there with the most articulate words in the world. I went in there being myself. I went in there doing what I said I was going to do. So once they saw that, they took that requirement down. It was no longer required to have any bachelor's, because if that was the case, I wouldn't have made it where I was at. They was going to have to let me go. I was bringing in too much money for them to allow a piece of paper to let me go. So they decided to keep me. So that's what wind up happening with that. And a lot of people today even think that I have, and don't get me wrong, my daughter has a master's degree. My youngest has her degree. You know, my son travels all over the world. But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying those things aren't good, because depending on what you want to do, if you want to be a doctor, of course, I don't care how smart you are, there's a certain piece of paper that you're going to need. But what I am saying is, there's something that you want to develop, don't let a piece of paper determine what your life is going. Don't let anything determine that. And I'm a living example of that, you know, that if I would have said I couldn't do this because I didn't have a degree, or I couldn't be the best because I didn't have a degree, I fumble in words today. Today, I say things backwards, and I have what we call Janelleisms, and I'm still mess up. But that's not the part that people look at when you're doing what you say you're going to do. And then you learn how, once you become confident within yourself, then I don't mind learning. If I'm saying a word incorrect, if I'm spelling a word wrong, I don't mind a person telling me, I thank you, because that's how we're going to build, especially us as women. Let's build each other up. If I mess up and I missed it, don't use it to hurt me, use it to help me build myself. And that's what I try to do with my words.
There are some, I just flow with you and completely forget what was my next question. So do you enroll in these women-based minority businesses, and do you take any extra advantages of those things?
I haven't as of yet. You have to remember, when I started this business, it was just me. And now I'm getting more involved in trying to. I don't know all the steps. All I know is I'm growing based on me. So I am, you know, trying to get in those type of things now, because the business just took we just jumped. We tripled everything that we've been doing in the past 8 to 9 years. In these last year and a half, we tripled everything. It wasn't about what I was in, it's my time. And even with those things, because I am involved in a few things with the city, but what I found out with those things and this is just my opinion, because me being a minority business, being a woman business, and me being signed up for those type of things, I still wasn't getting any calls. The calls I was getting was just to say that they reached out to me, not to use me. So I will fill out all this information they asked me to fill out and do all this stuff. But then I turn to find out they still go with a big company. And one day I just turned around and I asked the question, why are y'all, you still using the big companies? You still aren't using me. And they will really tell me the truth and say, well, we got a relationship with them. Well, you're never going to get a relationship with me if you don't try. And they just haven't. But I still don't allow that to say why I'm not going to win. I would love for it to come and help me, but it still won't be the reason why I won't win, because I'm still going to win.
Janelle, what are your hobbies? Owning a business, when you own a business, you're married to it, and it keeps you like 18 hours a day. I know, especially like restaurant businesses, you don't rest. So
Right.
What hobbies do you have?
Honestly, my hobby, I love to dance and I love to shop. I work hard, and
that goes with your last name.
Yeah. I love to shop and I love to dance. Exactly, Jackson. Yeah. And I just like spending time with my family, and I love cooking. I love coming up with different meals. I get that from my mother. I love finding out, I love to go around the world and taste food. I love the way food tastes. I'm this, I just, those kind of things, anything that brings people together is my type of thing of a hobby. I like to take vacations with friends. Right now I haven't done much of anything in the past 4 years, let alone anything in the past year and a half, along with COVID and everything. But it's because the business is really going where you ever imagine something? Just imagine that, how you just close your eyes and you imagine something. Everything that I have imagined with this business is happening. It's going exactly, and I'm just amazed that it's just, I'm just so happy. It's actually going, and all it took was for me to be a person of my word. It wasn't a lot. Was I everything that has happened, I was able to overcome it. When obstacles came in my way, it was okay. It taught me more, and it gives me something to pass on to a younger generation, to another woman, to another person, to anyone that wants to do something. But I do welcome any help.
So, I just thought never give up on your dreams or imagining, because
You don't. Dreams do come true. And I hate to sound so young about it, but it can happen. If you can dream it, it can happen. If you can close your eyes and imagining something happening for yourself, trust me, it can happen. It really can.
So the younger generation has become so dumb about it that they might have to take a class on how to dream,
They just might. But it's about us though, how we teach them to dream. We
Right.
teach them to dream through our actions, the things that we do, the things that we let your guard down. Let them know that you had a dream to do something and what you're working at. Anything is possible. It starts with us though. It really, really starts because we start and they see our dreams come true. Then they know they can dream big and then their dreams can come true. Yes.
Yeah, somebody taught me a line, and that's what you're saying. He said that if you deliver what you promise, only that thing will keep you in business forever.
That can keep you in business forever. Most of my customers, I have a 4.5 star of customers, not because of me being being any different than anyone else. It's just because I keep my word. And when I do mess up, I take accountability. And that's a very important thing. You got to take accountability, even when you mess up. It's okay. How many times have when we were kids, you go to McDonald's or you go to a restaurant and they mess your food up? You don't just leave them alone. You give them a second chance. When they come and they apologize and they say, let us make it right, you give them a second chance because they took accountability. But if they would have said to you, no, we didn't do that, you did this and you did that, you wouldn't go back again because they didn't take accountability. And that's what that's about.
Perfect. So what kind of employees you have, and men, women?
Oh, I
Equal?
have men and women. Installation, I have guys that install. I have one woman that installs as well. We don't discriminate. If you think you can do the job, then we will put you in that place. We have salespeople. We have our office manager. And we're just growing. We're growing consistently, and I'm just excited just to see. I'm more anxious just to see where I'll be next year, and then where I'll be the year next, and the year. I'm just excited because I knew I would get where I'm at now. So now I'm like floating on air, and I just can't wait for the next steps to go.
So no, in this series, we had been interviewing people, those who have already made it, they run in millions. And I don't see the same enthusiasm in them as I see in you, because
It's fun to me. I enjoy this. This is something that this was my baby. When I tell you I love what I do, I love the fact that I'm doing it. Of all people, I am doing it. All the people here, I decided to do it. And you know what is happening? And no matter what no one else says or who comes after, who was before me, I'm doing it right now. And I'm loving it. I'm loving to see who I'm going to help next and what person I'm going to give a job to and how that's going to change their life. And the next person that gets installed with a security system, how it's going to help them. The next person that calls me and says they got an issue, what can I do to help? Those things are just important. It's all of it wrapped up in one. And that's what builds a successful business.
Perfect.
I try to touch a little bit of everything, not just the good, the bad, the good, everything. And that's what's going to make me successful. That's going to keep me learning. That's going to keep me growing. And that's what I love about what I do today. It's fun. And I'm just excited. You guys, y'all going to have to reach out to me again next year and say, Janelle, where you at now?
How did you get the word out about your business when you first started it? Was it just mouth to mouth?
Yes, it was word of mouth. Believe it or not, business travel faster by word of mouth than any other way. You do something good or bad, when the next person tells one person, they tell the next person, the next person. My business honestly grew by word of mouth. Now I'm growing that I'm on TV, on commercials and different places like that. But it just started with me. What I did was, and I tell everybody in any business, when you want to start a business, start off with the people that care about you. Start off with people that love you. So when you make a mistake and you do something wrong, they're not so hard on you. So you start off with those people, and then you ask those people to help you get 5 more people, because they care and they have your business. They're going to want to see you succeed, and they're going to find you 5 more people. But you always start off with the word of mouth. But I always say, start off with the people that love you. Start off with the people that are not going to mind you bumping your head or making a mistake or doing it wrong.
So, if you want to expand, are you going to go in a franchise model, or you
We are definitely looking into that. We definitely want to have a franchise. We definitely, because I want everybody to feel as good as I feel today, not just here in the Carolinas. I want everybody to feel what I'm trying to give out.
So are you ready with that model? If we want to pass this message on to a few of the entrepreneurs over here.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Are you ready with that model of franchise?
Oh yeah, we're ready. I mean, like I said, we're installing in Detroit, Miami, Georgia. We're getting there, and we don't have as many customers in each of those places. But at the end of the day, I didn't have but 1 customer in 2012, and now I have over 400. So you know.
I know someone in Minnesota too.
Good.
And Texas and Dallas, Texas.
Thank you. So we take it all because we love to, we want everyone happy. We want everyone, the word get out, we can do this. It can be done. So that's the thing we got to remember. It can be done. Well, I thank you, ladies. This was so exciting. And to talk to you guys, hopefully we get a chance. I want to do it again. I know you had said it would be anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. So I'm just so grateful that you guys found me. And if you don't mind me wanting to know, how did you guys find me? Well, how did you find me?
Oh, we go up to an hour, but it's up to you how long you want to go on.
Oh, okay.
I found you through looking for, distinguished business owners. And first we started local in California. We're in the Bay Area.
Uh-huh.
And then I thought, let's broaden horizons. We interviewed mayors and chiefs of police and a beer distributing business, she's one of the biggest growing businesses in California. And then let's try the East Coast. And then your name came up, and there's all these different Forbes and different websites that talk about who's new in town and who's making it. So somewhere in the security.com, there was some kind of for security businesses, you popped up. Wow.
Well, let you know we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. And wow, I had no idea. That's what took me so long to get back with you guys, because I'm like, they're from California. They're not.
Yeah, let me check my notes. I'm going to see if it has in my notes. So go ahead and talk in one.
That is a great compliment, though.
Yeah, I'm just shocked. Thank you.
Yeah. So I will keep you in mind, and then I will also introduce few of the women, those who will be interested in, taking it over.
Okay.
Newsbreak.com. That's where I got it.
Oh, great.
I'll share the link with you if you want.
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll also We'll also share the interview with you so you can.
Okay, that'd be great. I appreciate that.
Right.
Thank you. I know my followers will look forward because I don't know, Nancy, if you got a chance to, but we have a Silver Shield Security VIP on Facebook, social media, guys, so that you can join and see what we're doing, good things, and when we're doing specials and when we're going to the next level. I started a group just for my Silver Shield Security followers.
What's the
Perfect.
name of it again?
It's on Facebook. It's Silver Shield Security VIP. I think I sent your invite.
My, can you send it again or email
I
it?
will. Yeah,
I may
I'll
have
send
seen
you
it,
another.
but it might have been oblivious with the rest of the text.
Okay,
I have
yeah.
to read between the lines, and sometimes I'm not doing
Sometimes,
that.
right? I will
Yeah.
send you that invite, and that way it helps you keep up when we're doing new things, with getting new deals and bigger deals, and you know what we can do. I allow people to go on that page and talk about their business, and you can see other women businesses though what they're doing. It expands you guys as well, because what I see what you guys are doing, you're trying to talk to women everywhere. And this is another place, where women are really, it's a great time to be a woman in any business. It really is.
Yeah, times change always.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Time
Dee.
goes by so fast. It's
Yes.
already almost an hour.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
really
love this.
appreciate it. I look forward to Nancy. I look forward to both talking to you guys and us staying in touch. Just so we'll know what
Definitely.
each person is doing and what our next step is. Because you keep it up. You guys are next, especially where you're trying to push women power and explore. You guys are next, and I can see you guys doing great things as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
need this inspiration.
Thank you. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Thank you.
Bye.
Mwah.
Bye-bye.